Hello student, today we will discuss new chapter, that is matter around us pure. It is the chapter second. Okay. Now discuss classification of matters on the basis of chemical constitutions. In previous chapter we have discussed classification of matters on the basis of physical classification, physical constitutions. Okay, but in this chapter we are discuss classification of matters based on chemical constitutions. Okay, so now discuss the matter classification on the basis of chemical constitutions. Dear student, on the basis of chemical classification, matter classified into two categories. First is pure substance and second is impure substance. Dear student, the pure substance means, you know that according to your parents, according to you, according to your neighbors, according to some pupils, the pure substance is the substance which do not contain impurity. Okay student, which do not contain impurity is known as pure substance. As example, on the jar of ghee, desi ghee, you read the pure desi ghee. Dear student, it means desi ghee is pure. They written here on the desi ghee is pure. It means desi ghee do not contain any impurity. Pure milk means milk do not contain any impurity. Pure honey means honey do not contain any impurity. Pure salt means do not contain any impurity. But according to scientists, this is not a definition of pure substance, because scientists say the pure substance made from the single type of substance. They have the fixed composition, but whereas the pure desi ghee have the mineral, fat and water and saturated and unsaturated fat. So pure desi ghee is a mixture of many constituents. So according to scientific concept, we cannot say pure desi ghee is the pure substance, because they have not a fixed composition. They are the mixture. Okay student, so always remember that a pure substance is the substance which is made from the single constituent which have the fixed composition, mass ratio. Okay. Here the classification of pure substance is two categories. First is element and second is compound. Dear student, the element like hydrogen is the element, oxygen, chlorine, coppers and irons are the elements. Whereas compound, dear student, water is a compound, sugarcane is a compound, because here, dear student, according to concept of element, cannot split into the two or more simpler substance by any physical or chemical means. Dear student, a substance which cannot be split into the simpler substance, two or more simpler substance by the chemical or physical means, by the physical or chemical process. Okay student, is known as the element. Okay student, like here H2, when you apply heat, electricity on the H2, they cannot split. But when you apply electricity on H2O, they can split into H2 and O2. Okay, so we say that here H2 is an element, but H2O is not an element, because here H2O is split into the H2 and O2, whereas H2 do not split into the simpler, two or more simpler substance. So we say that H2 that is hydrogen is a pure substance. In pure substance it is known as element. But H2O, which is split into the simpler two or more simpler substance, as I like here, H2O is a compound, because compound made from the two or more type of elements. Compounds made from two or more type of element. Here H2O is compound because H2O made from H2 and O, where sugar is a compound because sugar made from carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. So it is a compound. But here hydrogen made from the single type of hydrogen, oxygen here made from the oxygen, here chlorine made from oxygen, chlorine, and copper made from copper, iron made from iron. Just a substance which formed by the single type of element, single type of constituent particles is known as element. But a compound which is formed, which is formed by the two or more type of element. Okay, just here observe here iron only Fe, copper Cu, but Cl2 is here. Dear student, it means if number of atom here 1, so it is known as iron atom, copper atom. But here Cl2 so the chlorine molecule, not atom. If you want to write chlorine atom, then you write Cl. If you want to write chlorine molecule, then you write Cl2. Similarly, oxygen atom, so O, but oxygen molecule write O2. Hydrogen atom write H, but hydrogen molecule H2. Okay, student. So all the atom of hydrogen, all the atom of molecule of hydrogen is known as atom, and molecule are the constituent of the element. So we see that the atom and molecule are the constituent of the element. But compound formed by the two or more type of element or the molecules or the atoms. Okay, student. This will now discuss here. At the present, more than 114 elements are known. At the present, more than 114 elements are known. As like here, copper, iron, gold, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine, etc. These type of elements, similar to these elements, more than 114 elements at present known. Again here, student class now classified the elements. Classification of elements. Elements classified into three categories. First is metal, second is non-metals, and third is metalloids. The metals is, metal have the luster. Luster means sign. Metal have the luster means sign. Metal is the good conductors of heat and electricity. Metal are the good conductor of heat and electricity. Most of metals solid at room temperature. Dear student, most of metal are solid at the room temperature except mercury. Dear student, mercury is a metal, but it is not a solid. At room temperature it is obtained in the form of liquid. Okay. The elements, metals as like here the example: iron, copper, gold, silver, zinc, aluminium are the metals. Okay. Now discuss non-metal. This way non-metals have the lack of luster, means they have not sign. They do not sign. Bad conductor of heat and electricity. Bad conductor of heat and electricity. They are the generally gases. Dear student, most of non-metals occurs in the form of gas, and those that are solid, but some elements some non-metals occurs in the form of solid, but they are soft and brittle. Okay, some non-metals are solid, but they are soft and brittle. Bromine is also a non-metal, but it is the only example of liquid. Okay, student. Here the example of non-metal, that is hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus, carbon, chlorine, bromine, iodine, etc. are the example of non-metals. Okay, student. Now discuss metalloids. Metalloids. Dear student, metalloids contain the property between metals and non-metals. So right here, properties in the property intermediate between those of metals and non-metals. Okay, we have the example of metalloids, that is silicon, boron, arsenic, antimony, bismuth, and germanium are the example of metalloids. Okay, student. Dear student, in next lecture we will discuss about compound. Okay, please read your NCERT book and write down this lecture in your notes and solve the question related to this topic given in NCERT book. Thank you very much.